An influencer. An influencer is somebody with no talent,
Okay.
without like high effort into being creative, who's not intentional, who can't tell stories. Because even as a content creator or a creator, you have to be good at telling stories. You have to put
That's
in
true.
a lot of work.
That's true.
So these people who just like create mediocre, low effort content and content that exists already, or telling stories and memes and captioning things that exist already.
Hello and welcome to Nkwazi Unfiltered. My name is Amina Kaunda, and this is the platform where we get to know the names and faces of some of Zambia's most prominent people. And today, my guest is a musician, an actor, and a digital storyteller, also known by many fans as the Hardest Ohn in Lusaka. Welcome, Mix Kasamwa.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for taking the time. So first of all, I wanna talk about the fit.
Yeah.
It's very out there. Your jewelry as well.
Yeah.
How did we get to put this together today?
So it's like a low-key fit check.
Okay.
The cardigan, I thrifted this city market.
Yeah.
Yeah, my thrift plugs have been overpricing these things. So I think I got this for like 35 kwacha.
Nice.
Yeah, then the rings, a friend of mine gave them to me. But you can also find these. You can thrift these. They're
Yeah.
not very expensive. I thrifted the tie as well for 25 kwacha. Yeah. So, yeah, the jeans, I have had these jeans for a long time. So, yeah.
Okay. So we're going to talk more because I know that obviously clothes are an expression of personality.
Yeah.
And yours is obviously very, I will say loud and out there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about going way back when you were young. What was it like growing up as a young Mix Kasamwa? First of all, what's your real name? Tell the audience.
Mobangwe Kasamwa.
Yes, your birth name, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a middle name?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Do any of your siblings have middle names?
Yeah, my half sister does have a middle name.
Did your parents ever tell you why you didn't get one?
I don't know. I feel like they were just too nonchalant when
Yeah.
they were naming me. They were just like, you know what, Mobangwe Kasam. I mean, the meaning of Mobangwe makes a lot of sense the order that I get. It's a woodpecker.
Okay.
It's the name of like a chief because I'm a Bisa
Yeah.
from Pika. So, yeah, it just means like a woodpecker is just very persistent, and sometimes it challenges me to be patient as well.
I see. What's your birth order? How many are you? Where do you fall?
It's just the two of us.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the firstborn. The
firstborn,
My half
okay.
sister is the second. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So yes, let's take it back to childhood. What was that like for you growing up? You grew up in Gaborone, yes?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was interesting, you know. I mean, now it just feels very confusing because I literally have dreams of coming out of Manda Hill and then walking into a mall in Botswana as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So your life is just
Yeah,
meshed at this
yeah.
point.
And even culturally, like it took me a long time to fully assimilate myself with like pure like local Zambian culture. I had to I'm still finding myself.
Yeah.
I'm still planning to travel to Mpika to connect. Yeah. And also I was telling like my Bali, like he really westernized me and like urbanized me.
Yeah.
He would tell me things like, no, I don't want you to be speaking Bemba or Nyanja. I want you to work on your English. Stuff like that. So when I came back to Zambia, you know, in the beginning there was like a disconnect, but I mean, I put a lot of effort to try and like reconnect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting because I think so I'm a millennial. I'm assuming you're Gen Z, right?
Yeah, like in the middle, like right
Smack in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason I find it interesting is because there seems to be a generation where there was almost I will call it a neglect from the parents to teach us Nyanja, Bemba, Lozi, whichever local languages. So do you speak the local languages? You do.
Like just to like save my life. You know?
Just to save your life. You can get by.
Yeah, if there's an emergency and I
Yeah.
really quickly need to communicate, I think I can.
You can get by. Did you ever ask the question as to why it was never reinforced in the home?
The last time I remember my cousin came from Zambia to Botswana and he couldn't speak English very well. And we started like, you know, speaking like Nyanja together. And I just remember my dad just heavily emphasizing that no, like,
You have to speak
you
English.
have to speak English, focus on your English, teach him English.
Wow.
And then I asked him recently, I was like, remember when you told me like I shouldn't be speaking vernacular? He's like, no, when did I say that? When did I say that? I'm like, that's what you said. And he also said that like it's a language that won't really be helpful for me in the future.
I see.
And I was like, why did you tell me that? He's like, no, I can never say that. Ine, how did it? So now I'm like, I guess, Zambians were still like learning to love ourselves.
I think
and
so.
to accept
I agree.
ourselves and to shape our identity. So yeah, there's a lot of, I've just noticed it. There's a lot of pushback from just being Zambian or Zambianese. So yeah.
No, that's interesting. So my experience, I was not taught any local languages. I can't speak anything. My mom can speak broken Nyanja and broken Bemba. And my dad, because he was just like, you don't teach the children. You're not gonna teach them properly. So my mom never touched it.
Yeah.
And then my dad traveled. And then years later, I move home and I'm like, I can't even speak to save my life.
Where
I
did
can't
you
get
grow
by.
up?
I was in SA.
Okay.
So I can't actually get by. And then all of a sudden, when I did ask, because I was like, okay, but my friends and my cousins can all speak. Why is it that we were never taught? And he says, well, the same thing your father said. What is it going to get you?
Yeah.
It's like, wow. So I agree. We have a lot of work to do in terms
Yeah.
of being proud as Zambians.
Yeah.
So let's now talk about your identity and how you now fuse together who you are today. I want to start with, first of all, where did the name Mix come from? Was that from school or was it just a name that you gave yourself?
Mix is just like a nickname I was given because people were failing to say Mubangwe. Even people in Zambia struggled to say
Really?
Mubangwe. Yeah, it's either Mubanga. At the hospital last week, because I went for I've been having neck pain. They wrote Lubangu. So I've just always had problems with people being able to say my name. So my friends just used to call me Mix. So,
I see.
Yeah.
And
That's
then
right.
the identity of the Hardest Ohn in Lusaka, where'd that come from?
That one just came from the fans.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when I started making short comedy skits, film skits, there was a specific episode, I think it should be the third one, where it was a scenario where we're looking at this beautiful girl and I've been talking to her and I'm telling my friends, yo, I'm a tough on. And my friends are like, yeah. And then I remember that episode, they just started commenting that, and yeah, such things, when they say the public are the ones that kind of pick you and
True.
lift you. That's how it happened. It's not like I thought about it, I was a genius and it came from the public.
I see. So when I look at the career path you're on, and even just putting together Lusaka Starter Pack and everything, what was the foundation for bringing that to life? Where were you at a time in your life where you decided this is something that I want to do? Because it's a production, and productions are not easy. They're
Yeah.
not just quick, fast. You have to pull together a team.
Yeah.
What was that journey like for you, coming together with that idea?
Yeah, in terms of where I was when the pandemic, bored, nothing to do. I was living with an uncle of mine this before I moved out. So, I was just in a place where I wanted, to strengthen. I wanted to have a Zambian voice.
Okay.
How can I communicate with fellow Zambians? Because I am Zambian. I had left Botswana, and I left Botswana on the terms of realizing that I'm not Botswana. Both my
Okay.
parents
How old
are
were you when you
Zambian.
left?
I should have been 23, 24.
Okay.
Yeah, 22, 23. I'm not sure. And then, I came back just realizing I'm Zambian, and not knowing what my identity was. So the lingo was the only thing I had because I used to come back to Zambia for holidays, and I also lived in Lusaka for 3 years. Until my mom got severely ill, and then I had to go live with my dad. My dad was still in Botswana. So the only thing I had was the lingo because my dad this side is telling me
That you don't need
English,
you don't need the
focus,
lingo. Yeah.
You don't need the vernacular. But I think the lingo was fine because it's mixed with English.
I see.
So so when I came back now, fast forward, I come back, it's the only thing I had. And I think I was just walking down the road with a friend of mine, and this person didn't know that I knew the lingo. And then I just started speaking the lingo And they're like laughing, like, yo, this is so true. Like, I know 50 people who talk like this, who behave like this. So that's when I was like, you know what would be funny would be like a short filmish or skit that would embody, you know, the way these people behave, the way we behave. And then that's when I shot that exact scenario that I had brainstormed with that person. And yeah, then the rest was like history.
Okay. So now when you had come back to Zambia, you said you were about 22, 23 around
Yeah.
there. Was there ever a point where you felt pressure maybe to look for a job before? Because entrepreneurship is not necessarily the first thing that somebody thinks about. Content production is not necessarily the first thing someone thinks about.
Yeah.
Did you consider looking at formal employment, or it was more just, I want to do something and I'm going to do it here?
I actually had part-time. Okay, not I wouldn't call it part-time. I started creating content for like tech stores.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you're
'cause-
already on the social media scope of everything.
Yeah, I was, and I was managing some accounts for like a few stores and stuff. That was like my side hustle. Yeah, I was just figuring things out. I was also working with my uncle at that time because I did multimedia at Limco Queen in Botswana, so
Okay.
I can do graphic design, video production, audio production. So I was doing graphic design for his company. So yeah, that's how I was surviving, and that's how I was funding the small productions that we were doing at that time.
I see. And then when it came to university, so you had mentioned at one point that you had put a stop to it. You were at university in Botswana.
Yeah.
And that was due to financial pressure or financial issues?
Yeah. Financial
yeah.
issues. You know, the course I was doing was very, very expensive. Like, I think people in Africa some African countries don't understand how expensive it is. And
That's true.
Yeah,
That's very
important
true.
it is. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube now you can learn, but at that time, I learned so much in terms of Photoshop, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, editing from just school. But every like semester, the school fees was increasing. It was like, I think 15K when you start. Then second semester was 27. Then third semester was like 40 something. Then the last one I think was like 60 something. And they did that strategically, knowing that once you start, you just have to finish.
You're stuck, essentially. Yeah.
So, but it was a good school. They had everything like Adobe, cloud, internet, MacBooks and everything, equipment. But it was just too expensive. So I remember finishing second year, going to third year, I just saw how stressed my body was. It was just like, And then my sister also needed to go to a different school now, and he was just trying to calculate and see what he was going to do. So that's how I told him, like, just focus on her. And also YouTube now started ramping up, tutorials started ramping up, and then in class they were just teaching us things that you can find on a YouTube video. So I was like, this is not making sense at all. I looked at the syllabus in the curriculum, and there was nothing they were teaching that wasn't on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, at first he was very hesitant in the beginning
To just let you.
to let me. He was like, no. But I was just like, yeah. But eventually he did just let me because he knew the reality. Like I lifted a huge burden off his shoulder. So yeah.
How did your mom take that conversation when you told her that this was the decision you were making?
So like my biological mom had passed by then.
Okay.
But I do have a stepmom, and my stepmom's just never really been. She's been very good at not getting like overly involved unless she feels it's necessary. And she's always been on like my side. Like, she trusted, like, I feel like you'll figure something out.
Yeah. And you did.
Yeah.
So let's now look at you're here in Zambia and you're pulling together your team and you start filming Lusaka Starter Pack. Who's your writer? Who's your production assistant? Who's your cameraman? How do you pull this team together in order to now say, this is now going on YouTube?
So, I mean, I had done theater in Botswana at a theater called Mighty Song Theater. I also did some workshops with Juilliard University, which is a school of the arts.
Oh, nice.
I just used to go there like it was a hobby just to go there.
Okay.
A lot of things were free there, and if you are good and passionate at performing, you'd find.
Because I was about to ask, because Juilliard is like up there.
Yeah.
So they were having like.
Yeah, it was free.
Okay.
You just sign up, and I was always there doing theater and stuff. So people were just encouraging, like, sign up. Yeah. And then, so when I came back, I was like really passionate about storytelling now. We had done like theatrical productions before. So now it's like, if YouTube now
Yeah.
is the future, so we need to start taking these productions onto, the digital space. So that's how, I wrote the script for Lusaka Starter Pack based off of what it inspired it. I feel like I said, it just gave me a voice, to express myself as a Zambian. But then when production side now, it was just my friends. Shout out Danke and Warren. They're the ones shooting. Warren was on one camera, Duncan was on the other camera, just like this. Okay, obviously we didn't have soft boxes.
Yeah.
We didn't have this nice setup, But we didn't have microphones, so we were recording audio through our phones. We just put the phones on the table. They look casual, or you're holding them, but like we're recording sound because Apple sound is just really good. And I did all the post-production myself. And post-production, scripting was all on me. But I would definitely get help from my friends and people who just came on board.
So I did watch 1 or 2 episodes, but I deliberately went to the earlier ones just to kind of see and understand what it was that you were putting together. I want to delve into your thinking because again, you were raised in Botswana, you come home, you have an understanding of the Zambian lingo, but then how do you now lock in and say this is I think the word I can use is the exaggeration of it almost, because you have to really carry it through on camera. But was there a point where you were really trying to study and analyze Zambian intonations, Zambian lingo, Zambian slang, or was that something that you had just grown up with because you were back and forth between the two spaces?
I don't know, that's something I just grew up with. And to be honest, I know sometimes people look at everything and like, this was a good idea. I have to give like a lot of credit to God, because majority of the things that were happening were just like, I can't sit down. It starts from when I started editing and exploring with cameras and stuff. I don't remember a day thinking like, this is something I want to do. Even how I ended up doing like multimedia and stuff, like it's very blurry. So a lot of things were just happening on their own. And but definitely I just wanted my mission has just always to represent Zambia in like a laka way, cool way, you know. Not that like, it's a village, there's no electricity or there's no modern houses, there are no cars, it's just a bush, there's just animals. So that was my plan. The music was because of copyright issues.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like right now, TikTok has become so strict. Instagram is fine. So I'm now finding myself in that position again where like I don't have songs to use on my TikTok and my YouTube. But I didn't expect the music to take off the way it did at that time. And now, but I realized that music is so expensive to, like if you want to be like a musician full time, it's very complicated and expensive. And the type of music I would want to do would require like a record label and like a lot of financial investment in order for it to be
Have you found, well, I know that you said that it is expensive to do, but have you found like a niche in Zambia for your music? When I say niche, I mean your genre, because Zambian music is, it's very identifiable, but I feel like yours has more of an international inflection.
Yeah. It does in terms of production, beat selection. I mean, I did try and fuse the lingo in it, but I feel like sometimes I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing now that I'm getting older. Sometimes I feel like Zambians prefer a lot of, like super Zambian music, music where you don't have to second guess where
it's coming from. Yeah.
So, and the problem is, even with music, like I can't, because of me not being raised to speak Nyanja and Bemba, if I were to make a song in Bemba or Nyanja, I would be capping. People would be like, what are you doing? And it was too late. I'm like, what? I realized all these things at maybe 24, 25, like, oh, I was actually raised not to speak vernacular, And I know maybe when I was 18, I could have tried to learn, but I'm in Botswana.
Yeah, so there's no reinforcement of the language. Ask me, I went to South Africa aged 8.
Yeah.
Moved back aged 25. Still can't speak a lick of Zulu or Afrikaans. It's not reinforced because even if they teach it in the schools, you're still going home to an English-speaking household. There's nobody to actually practice with. So I feel like unless you're like me, where you maybe language is just that ship has sailed for me.
Yeah.
My brain just is no longer functioning in terms of actually make like the learning of another language. I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting a lot of effort into learning, like with the gardener, with like the cleaners. I'm always challenging myself.
Reinforcement of the language. Yeah.
Yeah, and because a lot of people who are like urban, if I see somebody dressed like me, he probably doesn't want to speak Nyanja. He probably speaks English really well. And the problem again is in Zambia, a lot of people actually speak English. So
True.
it's also difficult to find people who can put you in a position to speak vernacular. But I've been putting in a lot of effort, like shamelessly. Because, at first I was like, I don't really want to try and embarrass myself. But a lot of these people around me who love speaking vernacular have been very accommodating. They haven't judged me. Whereas in Botswana, if you can't speak Setswana properly, it's
Really?
a big problem. It's like even South Africans,
Yeah.
how they are about their
Yeah.
language.
No, very true. So when it comes, would you ever pick up music again? Do you see it coming
Yeah.
back in your future, or it's a
Yeah.
pause for now?
It's solely going to be for my films. Like even the music was like the Lusaka Starter Pack anthem, the LSK culture anthem. Like it was always to embody a world. Like everything I create things holistically. So it's to complement each other. I don't think I'll ever pursue like just music alone. I think it will always just be a body of work. So I have an independent film coming up soon.
Okay.
Yeah, and we have to make music for that. Or if we use other people's music, we have to start paying for those rights.
Yeah.
And we don't have the funds to do that. So we have no choice.
You're also an actor. Now, talk to me about getting cast for Can You See Us?
Yeah.
Which was, I mean, obviously we saw it all over Lusaka, very big production. Talk to me about that experience. What was that like for you?
It was amazing. That was because I was doing wardrobe as well, and I was just helping out on set. Because I'd been working with the director before Can You See Us. I think he encouraged me to audition.
Was this your first attempt at acting other than your content creation?
No. I mean, I had done theater, and there were actually more scenes, but I think it was too long.
I see.
Because initially I was the producer that exploited Chilulem. What's his name?
The name has escaped me as well.
Yeah.
But yes.
Yeah, I was the one who exploited the musician himself. So yeah, there were situations where there were scenes. I don't even know if I'm allowed to disclose this, but I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. Yeah, there were scenes where other scenes, missing scenes. But yeah, obviously they had to condense it. But what I got from that entire experience was just being on set, working with a team from South Africa, seeing how things are done professionally. And it has contributed to where my vision and my skill now as a director and somebody who is a film enthusiast.
So if we look at all facets of you, one of the biggest, I think, most highlighted versions right now is as a content creator. Do you like the word influencer before I throw it at you?
No, I'm not an influencer.
Okay, because some people, it rubs them the wrong way. So I always ask, I make sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get offended. Obviously, it's not like
Okay.
I'll hate you. Oh, why are you calling me that? I'm leaving the podcast.
Yeah.
But I get the confusion, Yeah, because media has become fragmented now. Like,
Okay, so I think just help. What is your definition of an influencer? Let's start there.
An influencer is somebody with no talent,
Okay.
without like high effort into being creative, who's not intentional, who can't tell stories. Because even as a content creator or a creator, you have to be good at telling stories. You have to put
That's
in
true.
a lot of work.
That's true.
So these people who just like create mediocre, low effort content and content that exists already, or telling stories and memes and captioning things that exist already, I feel some of those are like more like entertainers, memes, comedians. But yeah, the influencers are also the ones who just use maybe the way they look
Okay.
to get attention without anyone without
Fair.
depth
Yeah.
to their character and the content that they create. It's just sort of like influencing people to either like their pictures because they're attractive, or react to some of these edgy captions that they're adding. I mean, it's more complicated than that. But for me, and it's subjective, I could be wrong. I consider a content creator or a creator somebody who's good at storytelling, somebody who puts a lot of effort into the art of being creative, somebody who has talent, whether it's personality, whether it's, curating fashion, whether it's cooking and curating, all those things. Yeah.
I see. The reason I ask is because, funny enough, my sentiments are more or less the same.
Yeah.
Influencer it's almost become like a dirty word in the media industry. People don't like it. Initially, it was, a term of endearment, I think, for people who had the ability to get audiences to react or do a certain thing or to follow a certain brand. But now it's just become sullied, I think.
Yeah.
And that was the reason I asked, are you an influencer or not? Because, I mean, how do I phrase this? I've been looking at, I will call it new age content because, again, I'm an old millennial. I'm 35 years old. I'm over the hill. Yeah. I'm not even considered a youth anymore.
No, it's your last year as a youth.
Yeah, it's kind of, sort of, but yeah. So I'm now trying to get to know the different types of people that are online, right? And a lot of them are in their 20s. And I can actually see the difference between people like you who will actually create content and then the other side where it's get ready with me. No offense to the get ready with me. It's just
I hate this.
Yeah, there's the distance in how it's actually executed.
Yeah.
So looking at now the content that you put together, and again, obviously it's all you. It's all when a brand approaches you, you have to now cut, edit, decide how you're going to sell the product that they're giving you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about the work ethic that goes into that, because I can admit that it's not easy.
Yeah.
I don't even have the time when I'm hosting events to sit down and say, oh, could you please take a video of me? I don't.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the work that you put in behind it, because people think it's actually quite simple.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to you, let's say the brand you're working with currently, which is Flying Fish.
Yeah.
And they say, okay, we're doing this for the World Cup. Do you come up with all that content on your own, or do they give you a brief? How does that get executed?
So they usually have a brief. They have a vision. I mean, it's their brand, it's their baby. So in as much as there's been a lot of creative freedom with Flying Fish, I've enjoyed working with Flying Fish. Whenever there's nothing, like there's no theme and stuff, is usually when I have the opportunity to do what I want. And then sometimes I don't have ideas like now. It's like, okay, let's do everything World Cup. There's a soccer ball sports theme. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. But yeah, most brands usually have a theme. Some require you to be able to create a strategy and a brand identity system for like how you're going to represent them. And I always encourage a lot of creators who ask for advice for them to charge for that, because it's very difficult to build a campaign, especially if you're really good at building like brand identity systems. You're just good at marketing. It's very important to charge for that. As for work ethic, for the direction I'm going, like being intentional, telling stories, it's extremely exhausting. It's very difficult. Like it's extremely difficult. I think I said this on like platforms before, like being an artist or like a creative at like, at the highest level possible is the same, like going to school and like trying to become somebody in the industry and stuff and understanding those things, because there's a lot of psychology.
Of course.
Already for me as a filmmaker. Because for me, I never wanted to be a content creator. I'm kind of uncomfortable relying on short form. I don't like short form content. Even with Flying Fish, I send them 2 minute 30-second video. Like, can we shorten this? I'm like, no.
2 minutes and 30 seconds is too long.
Yeah, because I mean,
oh wow,
for them on their end, they're looking for, an ad is not supposed to be long, and sometimes I want to post a short film, like 3 minutes, 5 minutes if I could, because that's what I came in. Like Lusaka Starter Pack was 25 minutes, 22 minutes, The independent film I'm working on now is an hour, So, I mean, I understand where they're coming from, and they're on the right track when it comes to advertising for a brand. But for me, we do have to come to an agreement, and we usually do. I'm like, guys, don't worry, trust the process. This 2 minute, 30-second long video will do well, and it does. And they're like, well done. Yeah, but I never got into being a creative. I'm just adjusting and adapting, to be honest. Because I'm like, this is where we are at, and this is what we have to do. But in terms of work ethic, it's a lot of work. Like, I spoke about going to the hospital last week. I've been having like chronic neck pain from years and 10,000 hours of editing, because I've been doing a lot of like the post-production myself, because it's very difficult to find reliable people sometimes.
I was going to ask, do you actually outsource that or you do it all on your own?
I have one guy, but sometimes he's also busy with his own work.
Of course.
But it's very difficult to find somebody who's going to produce something at like the quality that I'm trying to achieve.
Do you do the same for other people? Do you cut and edit their content as well?
I used to, but because now I'm focusing a lot on my content and some of the projects I have in the background, I don't have the time. And a lot of people don't want to pay, for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of payments, because I know the creative industry, specifically on social media, is not something that's fully monetized in Zambia. So when it comes to just acts of getting by, surviving, paying your rent, putting gas in the car, where does that fall with regards to the content creation work that you do? Is it purely just on brand deals, or do you usually have something going off in the background that is not specifically driven by getting clients?
So for me, the moment I understood pricing, anchoring, and how to present yourself to especially some of these multi-million organizations is one of the only reasons I've been able to survive for I think close to 5 years now.
Okay, so this is just purely on content creation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Purely on content creation, because right now I'm signed to Flying Fish for 2 years, for a very generous amount. Trips are involved, And I mean, my prices are extremely high now. I mean, I've been having a lot of back and forth with a lot of big brands because, my price is a bit high now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I'm putting out, like, super high quality now. Because, like I said, even Lusaka Starter Pack episode 1 is a short film.
Yeah.
I color graded that. We shot that on DSLR cameras. So my intention has always been, like, cinematic, Whether it's comedy, whether it's fashion, whether it's whatever. So I'm also on this podcast because it looks very cinematic. I mean, the soft boxes, the vibes, yeah. But that has been the goal.
Yeah.
Whether it's going to be Vine, next there'll be another social media platform. That's how I'll be presenting myself until I die. And I can't wait to have all white hair, and I'm now directing. If a director has white hair and like, oh, this is the director, just know whatever is about to direct is going to be crazy.
So you see, for you, it's easy to kind of see where your direction is going, because at the end of the day, whether or not you're still pushing content on social media, you're going to end up behind the camera in some way, shape, or form, right? But then when it comes to the media industry, especially the social media industry in general, what is the biggest misconception that people have? Because again, the same thing that I was saying, there is that difference between content creation and influencer. A lot of people seem to put them together. And a lot of these people tend to be 18, 19-year-olds who are looking at you, or people who are working with you and thinking, I want to be like the next Mix Kasamwa.
Yeah.
What is the biggest misconception you think that these people have about the industry you're in?
Yeah, a lot of brands, okay, let me not say brands, a lot of people in representing some of these, let me just say brands don't understand, people don't do research. But again, it's very complicated, especially if you're not consuming content and doing, there's so much, things are changing every year. So I don't blame them. But I feel like if you have a marketing department, their sole purpose daily should be to do research and find out what's going on. In terms of me, if you go on my Instagram right now, my TikTok, like everything has just been like high quality.
Yeah.
The first reason this is happening is because from the beginning, my goal is to represent Zambia in the most, like, I don't know what to say, but like at the highest level possible. I don't mean to be pretentious and sound like, oh no, I'm this amazing. I'm still learning. A lot of my stuff is still very rough in the storytelling, and a lot of things are very rough. I'm not yet there. But the first reason I'm presenting everything like that is because you need to look at Zambia and like see it in 4K 10-bit. It should give you this mood. You should feel like going there. You should respect it. Versus people insulting each other on Facebook. Like, oh, let's search what's in Zambia. Oh, people insult, this person is insulting this person on this Facebook Live. Or on TikTok, they're exposing some relationship. Oh, this guy broke my heart. I mean, those things happen. It's fine. But that can't be the thing that is pushing what Zambia is about.
Yeah.
So that's the first reason. The second reason is I just noticed as well, like these 18-year-olds, these youngsters, you know, we call them youngsters.
Yeah, youngsters. I do that as well.
Yeah, like they're coming, everyone wants to be a content creator. And, you know, I remember telling everyone to start creating content when I just started. Guys, what are you doing? You're wasting time. Get your phone, start shooting, you know. And then I've noticed, you know, there's good and bad. Like on the darker side, like they're just creating anything is content, anything,
That's
you know.
the problem. That's what I see
anything.
now.
Yeah, you see. So I'm like, you know what? As somebody who is now getting older, and some of these youngsters look at me as somebody who's been there for a long time. This is the standard. This is the standard. And also to show everyone at a consistent level, in as much as my neck is messed up, at a consistent level, this is how I'm going to show Zambia to the world. This is how I'm going to do it. And this is the standard. Like, yeah, and I know they know. Like, I mean, I've got a lot of, it's not getting to my head. Okay, I'm trying my best to not let it get to my head because of the intention. But they are seeing and they know, like, here, me, I know I'm creating these short viral videos, you know, or I'm showing off my body. But, like, there's, like, mixed content here. Like, how is he doing that?
How do I get to
How do I
that
get
level?
And I really want, even though, you know, it might get competitive, but I don't mind. I really want everyone to sit and think, what's my story? Why am I doing this? How, what, when, like, answer those questions. How am I representing Zambia? What's the standard? Am I living up to a specific standard? If we can all get to that, I feel like that's when YouTube will be like, okay, these guys are serious.
Yeah.
Let's monetize these guys. These guys are serious. Facebook, let's open a Facebook office, buy arcades. You know, let's get these guys monetized. They're not playing. This when the film festivals are like, okay, guys. This is when TikTok and all these places come and they have a conference, they have a whatever. So yeah.
Deep down, do you think Zambia has the potential to do that?
It's very complicated. One of my main concerns, and I figured this out when we were with State House discussing, because they are like, majority of the money, a lot of money has come from like the digital space.
Yes.
IT, all these places. So they're like, we need to find a way to empower this. But when we look at statistics, I have to check. I'm assuming it's around like 15% of Zambians are actively online. There's a lot of people.
Those numbers are very low, 15, 16%.
Yeah. And that's the primary reason why YouTube is like.
I see. So they're just not interested right now.
Yeah,
anyway.
right now. They're like, you don't have enough people online. If we can get that number up to even above 50, maybe 60 is when,
In your opinion, is that in your generation or that's the next generation coming?
I think it's probably going to be the next generation. Yeah. We've been having conversations, you know, ideas. One of the ideas I put on the table is to get people digitized. Yeah, like I feel like, you know, find a way to get them smartphones because there's a lot that they can do in terms of business-wise, communications.
Yeah.
You're selling carpenter, what type of somebody's trying to figure out what type of carpenter, you send them a picture on WhatsApp. Mobile money transactions. I think they still do mobile money with USSD. But yeah.
I like hearing a notion that is so positive about the online discourse and the way that we're going, because I'm in the opposite mindset. Maybe I'm just old school and maybe my parents have fried my brain. But there's always this fear that I feel for people like you who are content creators and the influencers as well, because it's like, okay, what if this disappears tomorrow? What if brands just stop? Because your brands, your personal brands for your content are almost they're at the mercy of your audiences.
Yeah.
One slip up and all of a sudden you're canceled.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden brands don't want to deal with you anymore.
Yeah.
Does that fear never sit in the back of your head where you're thinking, oh my gosh, not to say that you're somebody who's going to come on and say something controversial and get yourself canceled, but again, your brand is kind of at the mercy of your audience.
Yeah.
How does that ever bother you?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah?
Yeah, like it's very difficult. Like you're always thinking, what should I say? Like, what if this, what happens, you know? The only thing is, in terms of it like disappearing, that's why I say it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Like the psychological part of it. I feel like a lot of people need to read books about, being a public figure. Like, even these people talking a lot, like yap content.
Yes.
I don't like yap content. I know it does really well, you grow.
Is that the story time version?
Yeah, story time, like every day you're just saying something. Like, you can't be talking every day in front of people. Like, even as a public figure or a politician or whatever, there's times for campaigns, there's time to address the public. You can't just be talking every day. No. So, like, there's a law in the 48 Laws of Power that says always say less than necessary.
That's true.
Win through actions, not argument. That's why for me, I won't do yap content. Like, I have to sit down and think about what I'm saying. And the moment you're doing things for clout, like, I need to be consistent so I get more views. I'm insulting this person, now people know who I am. When it's now time to look at the brands that are, properly established with a good foundation, or another social media platform comes, those with a core fan base who have, like, actually poured substance into these digital spaces are the ones that are going to survive.
Yeah.
And also, like, it's like you have to avoid, like, unnecessary controversy. For me, I don't mind being controversial. Like, my controversy was when we were working with Zambia ending AIDS. And they were like, we want you to create 2 short films about young people in HIV and AIDS. And I told them, guys, we're going to have sex scenes and kissing scenes. And they're like, oh, no, we can't do that. I'm like,
I see.
The kids need to know.
It's a conversation that needs to be had.
This is what happens.
Yeah.
I also have, like, a video that went viral where I was telling young people, like, what business idea can I do in university? I was like, you should be selling condoms in these dormitories or whatever. I know people are saying, no, let's not encourage people to be just
I think I
having
remember
sex.
that conversation.
Yeah.
That went
So that's a very controversial video, but it has an intention of, I worked with SAT Zambia, which is an organization that was looking at how many, like, these youngsters, they know the antibiotics for sexually transmitted diseases. Like, they know what to do at the pharmacy. They don't even have to tell their parents. And I'm like, this is crazy. So the best thing they should do is probably use protection, So that's how people should think. And I feel like I wanted to be a psychologist.
Same. I actually had my minor in psychology.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, you would be a good, like, content creator.
Thank you.
I don't know. Are you a content
No, I'm too lazy.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
It's not for everyone, though.
No, it's not.
I wouldn't encourage it.
Honestly, and that's why, for me, I say respect to people who actually put together content. People like you who can go from everything from filming to the production to the script writing. I bowed down because, like I said, I'm too lazy to even just... People always, because of hosting events and whatnot, they're always like, okay, you need to clean up your Instagram, you need to do this, you need to do that. Yeah. And I agree, because we are in a digital space where at the end of the day, your social media is your first impression. Yeah. I completely understand that. But I just don't have the time to go with the production team and the this and the this and the this. I honestly, to be completely frank, I think it's also because I want to disappear.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of being in front of a camera. I don't like the idea of garnering attention. I want to disappear.
Yeah.
And that's just the long-term plan that I have. I like platforms like this where I can have conversations, but I think that's the psychology brain that kicks in.
Yeah.
I want to get to know people and I want to get to know what makes people tick. But as for content creation, no, I'm too lazy.
I mean, I think there's a lot of options. I feel like podcasting, there's certain people... I love YouTubers. I really wish YouTube was big in Zambia. Like, YouTubers don't create content on Instagram and TikTok. Like,
no, they don't. Yeah.
Everything is like, it's like a 40-minute video of them dissecting something that means something. And if they post a picture on Instagram, like, people like it because their fan base is so big on YouTube. So that is an option, is podcasting and having conversations or being on a platform like this and not necessarily having to worry about.
Yeah. No,
and then if people call you for brand deals or whatever, like, you pick the one that you want.
Yeah.
And I think content creation or just podcasting or whatever needs to be a hobby for some people. I don't think it should.
I think so, yeah. And I think for you, it's a passion. I think I've gathered that just from this conversation.
Yeah.
And this is where I can almost put you in a different category as from the people that are on social media right now. And it's no shade, no foul. It's just that there is a big difference that I have seen, especially in Zambia, between influencers and content creators. And I think... you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we have more influences online right now that are kind of sullying the industry that is content creation.
Yeah. We do, and we've always had. In the beginning, we had comedians and just influencers, like just people just talking rubbish, nonsense on social media. But shout out to the Jotis, the Tawodakas, the
That's
Lester
actual
Roberts.
content creation, yes.
These are people who are like, they're into interior design, they're into fashion. Some are med students. They are showing you what they're going through in their life. So yeah, I think I'm always optimistic. And even for me, like I'm here to show you like, hey, like it's not just about talking nonsense on your live stream.
Yeah.
Like there's an art form to being creative. So you're going to watch and you're going to see, and there's a lot coming in. Even how I'm working with Flying Fish, it's coming from a place where for us to work together for 2 years, and they've invested a lot in me, even like some of the trips that are coming and everything. It's like, they are looking for a platform that can show, because majority of the people who have given me this opportunity are Zambians. They're like, hey, we want Zambia to be seen like this.
Yes.
So yeah.
When it comes to, because you mentioned it triggered when you mentioned the word investment. So, I mean, content creation in itself is an investment in yourself and your own content.
Yeah.
I think we can agree that there are some people that have a little bit of a leg up in the industry because maybe they come from money or they married well.
Yeah.
Does that also contribute to the competition that exists? Because there's some people who maybe might be good content creators, but they don't have the nice background that someone can do when they're doing a fashion get ready with me or a hair haul or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Zambia is just a very materialistic place. That's one thing I don't like about, Zambia sometimes. It's extremely materialistic, it's always about the flashy things, but...
I think Lusaka in particular.
Yeah, Lusaka. Yeah. Lusaka, LSK, it's my city, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like it kind of discourages a lot of people to feel like, I've met so many young people like, no, I need to build this setup first. And I'm like, what he's talking about is so expensive, And I remember seeing a picture where there's like a rich kid and like a poor kid, and he's standing on like heaps of money so he can see what's on the other side of the world. And this poor kid is just trying to climb. I mean, I try to be optimistic. I remember Les Brown saying, I mean, if you are born in a wealthy family, that will help.
Yeah.
If you're good looking, that will help.
Yeah.
But there's still ways to navigate through, and I look at Nigerian content creators, the thing is you have options. This is a subjective and a very biased take, but if like you can invest in learning skills, like a skill that's different in terms of how you tell your stories, and you're also really good, if you can just become good at telling stories, you can be in Ngombe and shoot like a nice like story documentary style video, and there will be people who will fund that.
Yes.
Because there is a demographic for everything. Sometimes even brands like Airtel are looking at, they know a lot of people in like Ngombe or in Mississippi are using Airtel. They will, when we're doing a campaign, they were like creators like me who are maybe like, I don't sound pretentious, but like I'm doing like a lot of high quality stuff.
Yeah.
And they're also just like your normal like Facebook creator who would resonate to people in other areas. So that's the only way you can compete is if you are good at other things that don't require money. Like
this high-end, yeah, I see what you mean.
Because even in India, there's like so many creators that are not well off. Even Mexico, there's my favorite creator, Gox, is from Mexico. Like he just comes from a very like, he can't even speak English properly. But like he's invested in like the skill and the art form. So being super creative, skillful, and just good and passionate at what you do will always win.
Yeah. I see. Do you ever see yourself going into formal employment?
No.
No.
It's never been part of the plan. Because I hated school so much.
Oh, you were more or less like me. I wasn't the bunker. I was the one who would just kind of show up and just not really be invested in what's going on. Funny thing is, I'm smart, but I was just bored. And then the teachers were just like, okay, you're going to have to really put in some work. And I was like, this is not for me. But in terms of pushing the narrative, as you said, you speak very openly about certain topics. You don't mind pushing the status quo. I wanted to also delve into your conversations that you've had on your platforms about anxiety, depression, where it's not something that's very much spoken about in Zambia. Now we're getting into the mental health conversation slowly.
Yeah.
But I think for men, it's still kind of a taboo.
Yeah.
So have you received backlash speaking out about these things?
Yeah, I did. On
You did?
Facebook.
Yeah.
I remember like people just grilling me. No, he's asking for sympathy. Like he wants us to feel sorry for him. I'm like, guys, I know myself, and like, I think for me, sometimes it looks like maybe I'm trying to be a victim, but I think time will tell. I'm the type of person who will complain today about something, but I'll keep pushing. You know, I'll keep pushing regardless. I'll keep showing up. Or I'll put it in my art. Because I did a short series called This is Lusaka. It was mental health themed about depression and stuff.
Yeah.
And it has a huge cult following amongst young people who are into mental health.
Yeah.
And it did similarly, like as well as Lusaka Starter Pack in terms of viewership. It's just that it depends. If you're not really about tapping into mental health and stuff, you won't really resonate. You won't even know it exists. But yeah, there was just a lot of like backlash and stuff. But for me, I'm very confident. When I say something, like I'm at least 85% sure about what I'm talking
Why do you
about.
think that is for men? Because a woman can hop online on an Instagram live or a TikTok live and cry and talk
But even
about
for
her
women,
feelings.
even sometimes for women, they're like, "Why are you crying on camera?"
No, now it's because literally, why are you crying on
Yeah,
camera?
yeah.
But before,
Yeah.
there was almost this, oh my goodness, she's going through so much. What's going on?
Let's help her.
Let's help her. But for men, not to necessarily say that you would be crying on camera, but there is this notion of almost like you can't speak about what's actually going on with you.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is?
I think, they said, "Wamula samalila." Like as a man, woman, all these things, bro. Woman, you're wearing a jersey. You should be shirtless.
Yeah.
It's called you should be shirtless. But it's like, at the end of the day, when we look at GBV, when we look at like the suicide rates in terms of it being predominantly men, we don't sit down and have these conversations and figure out where all this is coming from, the tension. And I think sometimes for me, I've become really good at like managing my emotions. I've become even better. And it always comes from like expressing myself. And even just people are looking at like my content now because of the evolution and how I'm still pushing, showing up. I mean, I'm not really as relevant. I'm not chasing relevancy anymore. Like that's when you're young. Like I really don't care.
Yeah.
Like I just want to create the art and whoever likes it, likes it. But it's this thing where, as a guy, you're not supposed to show any weakness. But you bottle that stuff in, and then somebody just brushes you. You start fighting, Somebody just asks you a question. You start insulting them, your girlfriend or your wife,
I want to ask you a question before I let you continue, because this is also now coming from just observation. I'm a woman. My experience is completely female. But looking at looking from the outside in at male interactions in this country, would you say that Zambian men are insecure?
Yes.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because through conversation with you, you seem emotionally intelligent.
Yeah.
You seem very calm and centered in yourself.
Yeah.
So when you're experiencing going through the world and operating with people, Zambian men, are they insecure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to say all of them, but
Not all, yes.
Yeah, most of them are. And it's so difficult for me to have friends. And when I've been dealing with that, like, from like when I started noticing it, because I also read Laws of Human Nature.
Yes.
And like human tendencies that are natural in terms of insecurity, jealousy, envy, and how to control them and where they could be coming from. But now when you mix dealing with people's insecurity and fame, it's crazy. I have people always consistently pretending Like they want to help you and be there and help you as a brother, but they want to take what you have.
There's someone in the industry who I know immediately comes to mind. I won't mention him, but yes, exactly like that. Yeah.
Wants to take what you have, wants to compete with you, unnecessary competition, you know. And it's been very difficult for me to have even just male friends.
Yes.
You know, I find like with women, when I'm working with women, I'm so grateful. Like my girl is also not insecure because she understands like I can be at a Flying Fish activation and there's other female creators and we're just creating. But whenever I'm working with like women, like there's this nurturing vibe, in fact. You know, I don't know how it is between woman to woman, but like there's this nurturing vibe of like, Mix, you forgotten your bag. Can you get your bag? Or like, no, like, wait, before we take the picture, clean your shoes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Actually concerned about how you look. You know what I mean? And with guys, it's just something else. Like, there's just so much insecurity because of all this bottled up tension and so many trauma that you haven't dealt with. You know, and then the thing is with trauma and all this tension, if you're not dealing with it, anything that comes close to you, you're going to project that.
You'll snap or project. Yeah.
So people, I just see a lot of male friendships that's not lasting. A lot of people just are so volatile and hostile towards each other. Even just in the gym, because I've started doing mixed martial arts and stuff. And like, I'm very passionate about it. The gym has also really helped me with my mental health.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
it has helped me. I've been off for like a week and I can feel the difference.
Yeah.
But like I was just managing stress so well. I remember my dad went into surgery last year and I just kept going to the gym and I dealt with the situation. You know, I thought I was going to break. I just shut down like I used to. But because I was going to the gym, I was managing everything. And before we knew it, was done. Surgery is successful. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't believe we went through this. But in the gym, I'm just doing mixed martial arts. And everyone's just feeling like threatened and like trying to test you.
It's
I'm
a
like,
very
why?
strange bravado that, I mean, so as an avid gym goer, I don't know. So I can see it. I won't speak on the female experience. That's a conversation for another day. But I have noticed the male eyes and how everybody's watching. How much is this guy lifting? What is he gonna do? And it's walking with the chest out and the arms spread. And I'm just thinking, why are we peacocking? Why can't we just put the feathers down, all mind our business, and carry on with our lives?
Yeah.
But I have picked up on the fact that Zambian men, not all, but majority, tend to be very insecure.
Yeah.
And men like you would obviously throw them off kilter because they can't quite understand why you are, again, centered in self. So when it comes to speaking out about mental health, have you ever tackled that side of the conversation? Have you ever told them like, hey, you kind of need to worry about you first?
I mean, I did try. There was a time I kept repeating, focus on yourself, like try to ignore everything that's like trying to avoid getting influenced by like the society, like try to influence yourself. But I feel like there's a lot of work to be done. Like I felt so much weight on my shoulders when I was like, oh my God, we need to be having like young boy conferences.
I agree.
Like every month.
Yeah.
To like
I
really
agree.
filter out all this dirt with therapists there. You know, I'm trying to make it in a way where we're creating content and it's fun, but there's so much to do to like
To unpack.
undo, you know, in terms of like certain tendencies and a culture amongst both young men and men, you know. Even just the materialism, how for me I was very shocked when I came into the industry and I started having like groupies and stuff. This was early on. And I've never really been like a very materialistic person, you know. At the end of the day, there are a few things that I like. But like with cars, like I remember just having like chilling with like female creators. And they just want to create.
Yeah.
You know, they just want to create. They just want to like, yo, because I like the way female creators are excelling, you know. And then guys who come with like a Mercedes or whatever, like, yo, man, Mix, can you tell them to come in my car? And they're like, no, we don't want to go.
We don't want to go anywhere with you.
And they feel like just because you've bought this car or this watch or you've got the orange iPhone 17, like you are entitled to all the girls in Lusaka and LSK, they are yours, you know, chick magnet, it's going to be wild. And it's like, it was a culture shock because when I was young, I believed that I was like, hey, you need all these things in order for you to get that attention. But whenever I'm just like females actually just want to feel safe.
That's true. That's very true.
They want to feel safe, and I'm the type of person, I've never created an environment where a predatory environment, or because like I in Botswana, if you act desperate in Botswana, like you're not getting any girls. Like in Botswana, you have to skate as a guy. You know what I mean?
You have to pretend like you're not interested,
Like you don't
you
care.
don't want her.
You know what I mean? And she's like, why isn't he? All these guys have been hitting on me.
Yeah.
This guy hasn't hit on me. What's cutting? So I learned that in Botswana, like guys in Botswana are a bit different. Like they take care of, not that like Zambian guys don't take care of themselves, but even the way they present themselves, they have this confidence of like, I'm not going to worship, you know. And
Yes.
a lot of young guys in Zambia are becoming like that. But it just, whenever I'm like there's girls around, I've never been the type to just get excited and change, especially if we are creating. Because that's creativity first. If we're meeting and we're creating, they can be the most beautiful girls around, but it's like, yo,
it's
guys,
work first.
let's start working.
Yeah.
You know, let's get the job done.
Yeah.
That's how it's always been. And that's the environment that especially like aspiring creatives and productive women want to be in. And then these guys just don't want to do any work. They don't want to provide any like tangible opportunity or anything. Just want to come with like an expensive car. The girls go with them and they can do whatever they want with them. And I'm like, wow.
When you look at the scope of this, so what do you think is the biggest setback? We talked about insecurity, but for Zambian men, just in general, in terms of mental health, what do you think is the biggest setback that could assist in starting to rectify the problem, aside from the workshops?
I think I'm always optimistic. I believe in Zambian men in Zambia, there's always evolution. It's just it's always felt like we're just a little bit behind when it comes to certain things.
I would agree.
But the internet already is putting pressure on everyone. Like, cause especially Gen Z, when the polygamists came out, like, you know.
Oh, yes.
Young girls were like, no.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to just be getting married or like just be, you know, settling for whatever. I was like, oh, this is interesting, you know.
I think it's unfortunate, but I'll let you finish your thought before I...
Yeah, I mean, there's disadvantages,
Yeah.
but the advantages that I saw was like just people being really outspoken and voicing how they feel about certain things. And let's say, for example, if females are like, listen, we don't care about like how much money you have, whatever, all these material things that you have, it's not going to be enough. Because I've seen situations where some females have, maybe in the beginning, were with a guy because he's got money and stuff, he's spending on them, and they leave. Like they leave without looking back.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, like you actually left everything. And it's now going to put a lot of pressure on guys who rely on materialistic things
Yes.
to now dig deep and be like, this is not work. Like, it's not enough. I mean, there'll be some who will keep on buying more and more and more things. And a lot of females are now like cheating back on like, you know, like those days, if you're investing in like a female and stuff, she'll be like, oh no. These days,
Yeah.
like, you know,
Yeah.
she'll also, you're giving her money, she's going to spend that money on another guy because like, you've got your main chick or your wife,
Yeah.
you know, and I'm seeing it happen. I'm like, Eesh.
Yeah.
So now guys are getting like confused. They're bang now, like, Eesh. So I've been spending money, I've been doing, it's not enough. It now puts you in a position not only to find the right person for you, like it can't just be because she's attractive. It has
Yeah.
to be like, are we compatible? Like, are we close enough where we can be together for a long time and just be chilling and it's a vibe? You know, I can't just get into a relationship just because she's attractive. I'm seeing some of my friends, acquaintances now getting into relationships with people they're compatible with versus the time where like, oh, I just want this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl, this girl. So I'm optimistic, like the internet also with the conversations that people in different countries, South Africa, whatever, are having,
Yeah.
are educational. There is some good that's coming
Yeah.
from the internet. So Gen Z now know they can call, I don't know if I'm allowed, if you mute it, they can call bullshit like, no,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what is going
I think
on?
the unfortunate thing that I've seen with Gen Z in relationships is that the thing that we learned when we were going through dating was that your first love is not the person you end up with. It's like training wheels. You end up with somebody, you learn a few things from this relationship, you grow, you get into the next relationship, you grow. I mean, I think on average, I can't speak for everybody, but I think 3 serious relationships is it's safe. That's fine. Starting if you start dating at like maybe early 20s, I think 3 is the safety.
Yeah.
Because by then you kind of know yourself and you know your do's and don'ts and your boundaries, right? But I think with Gen Z, we learned this through action, going through that. Gen Z have a very loud understanding of, okay, I'm 24. What's the likelihood I'm still going to be with this person when I'm like 30? And I know my sister has said that. She just says, what's the point of getting in a relationship if I'm just going to break up with the person? And I'm like, no, you need to experience love. You need to go through the motions. But I think, unfortunately, for this generation, I won't say it's transactional, but there's a very, logic precedes or overrides, rather, emotion.
Yeah.
They're not really throwing themselves into it.
They're a bit too logical.
Yes.
A bit too technical about things. But they're very lonely. There's this loneliness pandemic. Like Japan, Singapore is crazy. But even now, like, I just looked at so many of my friends, like, we're getting old now. And, like, very few of them are getting married. Nobody has kids. But that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, there's always the deep and the dark side. And then now people analyze, like, I'm a human being at the end of the day. I don't want to die alone.
Yeah.
You know, I want to have maybe 1 or 2 kids. Okay, for me, I just want to have maybe like 2 kids. Because I feel like...
Mine is 2. That's it and that's all.
Yeah.
We end
I'm
there.
thinking, my dad was like, no, you need to have 9. I'm like, 9?
That was back in the days when we could afford them.
9 is crazy.
Yeah.
But like, so I feel like when I look at this whole loneliness pandemic, I'm like, it's interesting because now, if you're... I like anything involving sitting down and being alone and dealing with yourself. So now it's like, not only do they have more information, because for like, let's say older millennials, there wasn't a lot of discourse around things to consider, like the Me Too movement and everything. Oh, like this is wrong, this is right. So now it's like they have a lot of information. They just have to like consume that information and curate it towards their personal preferences. And I feel like there will be a time like where it will be now like, okay, you know, let's actually give this a shot, because they're human beings at the end of the day. You can't be lonely forever.
That's true. I think going back to the discussion of men's mental health, one of the other points that I don't think is talked about enough is the other side of things, where we need to stop always looking at the fact that the man is to blame, if I can put it that way. I've seen this just in conversations with male friends, cousins, brothers. You know, there's this notion where whatever a woman says, automatically that's what must have happened. Nobody's really delving into the fact that sometimes women can actually be toxic. Narcissism, the pop psychology word that everybody's throwing around now. Everybody says, oh, he's a narcissist. And I'm thinking, no, sometimes if you do the homework, you actually see that she's the narcissist. It's very possible. So I think in the men's mental health conversation, a lot of people are not delving into the fact that women, aside from the false accusations that they can sometimes shoot, women can also be toxic. And I don't think that's discussed enough, to be honest.
No, you know, with guys, what's funny with guys, especially Zambian guys will know something. Like, you know, in the gym, I'm not gonna like mention names, but like in the gym, there's always that 1 or 2 girl, like she comes in, she's like super attractive, but like guys will just come and be like, this girl. No. You know, you go to that guy, he's also like, there's this story about this girl. Like, everyone knows. And they're not giving her attention or anything because they all know. But they just won't say it loudly. So now guys are starting to know, like...
I see.
Like, a baddie is a baddie. And we all know, like, what a baddie is. Like, because I always urge, when I was talking to some of my female creatives, I'm like, guys, if you're going on trips and stuff like that, do you understand you're now in a position where you have to be accountable? Like, you have to be authentic. Like, stop trying to look like this premium creator and you're just going on these trips. Like, how? How are you going on these trips? Because it's now becoming a huge red flag for a lot of owns, where it's like, wait, do you come from a rich family? Or are you working? How are you traveling? You know? So now it's this thing where there are these memes on TikTok where, like, you see a fine girl on Instagram, you click on her profile, you see Dubai, Paris, what, and you're like, nah. You know. So I feel like they know, especially Gen Z, they know, and that's why they're not. It's a good and a bad thing. The bad thing is they're not putting effort.
I see.
They don't want to be in relationships. They're like being very calculated, logical, anxious. Maybe because some of these girls do actually come from well-off families.
Some of them, yes.
Yeah. But they're like, no.
Yeah. As we wind down the conversation, let's talk about now a happier notion. You are in a committed relationship. How long have you guys been together?
I think it'll be 5 years this September.
Wow, 5 years. Nice. So how has this, because you post content together sometimes and you work together at times.
Yeah.
How has that been like going through, she's getting to know her type of content creation and what she's into, you're getting to know yours, but you're bringing that together 5 years deep now.
Yeah.
What's that journey been like working together?
I think it's been fun. Overall, it's been good. I don't know, like I was so scared and anxious when I was a super anxious person when I was younger, like, how we're going to deal with everything, if there's like backlash. But I remember she was telling me, she's like, we need to like be creating a lot of content together as a couple. I'm like, no, we're not doing that.
Why was that?
Because I know she's a very like independent person. She loves individualism. She's got leadership qualities in so many ways. And she likes to do her own thing.
Yeah.
That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Second thing is I don't want, like, we have so much to offer. She's got so much to offer. She's a med student. She has her own sense of style, fashion. She has her own stories.
Yeah.
She's got this a lot of stuff is coming from her because she's just finished med school, but there's so much going on amongst being mixed race. Like, it's so complicated.
I see.
And being with her for 5 years, I've seen how complicated it
Yeah.
is. So she's got that to deal with. Like, she has to create like so much content and tell stories about the difficulties of being mixed race.
It does
colorism.
seem harder. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So now it's like, if we're always creating content about going on dates and stuff like that, she won't have the opportunity to do that. So yeah, but again, it has been actually more beneficial. There were times we made like so much money off of being on brand deals together. And what's crazy is they don't book us like, oh, you guys should be kissing and being lovey-dovey in the videos. No, it's like our personalities, our style. Like, even if we're just friends, the content would still do really well because of like how our personalities work together.
Yeah. Was it a mutual decision to go public with your relationship? Because now we're in this era where everybody wants to put an emoji over their person and surreptitiously suggest they're in a relationship. What was that? Was that a mutual decision with the two of you? To just be out in the public and
it
open?
was. I remember her telling me, she doesn't want to be hidden. She always wanted to create content with a partner.
Okay.
So there's opportunities for us to do
Yeah.
that. Sometimes she has a few ideas she wants to do, and we get to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And couples content it's growing, I think I've seen slowly as the Gen Zs are stepping out of their their hardcore
You just have to
lifestyle.
be careful. I feel like
No,
I always
true.
tell people, like, people always like, oh, if you put your relationship in the public, it's going to get destroyed. I'm like, bro, there are people who have privatized Instagrams and they're beating each other up in the bedroom. Like, if your relationship is trash, it's trash. And for me, I don't mind. Like, I always say this, God forbid, but like, let's say if it ended, like, I'm very good at like, yo, guys, it has ended. Like, life goes on. The people, they go on, they get to do what they're doing.
Exactly.
And I don't think I'm the type of a messy person where it's like something like,
I think it's also a
extreme,
matter of trust.
Yeah.
If you trust your person and that trust is mutual, things are going to be smooth sailing. You can always feel when there's chaos in some sort of situation. It's maybe even just an undertone of discomfort, but it's always there. But if you trust each other, 100%. I'm somebody who I will block left, right, and center if I feel that anything is going to just be a threat to whatever the situation is. It's not even a threat. It's just, I think now, especially with age, and you're in a committed relationship, you want peace.
Yeah.
You don't want chaos. You don't want wandering eyes. You don't want anybody who's going to come with any sort of negative notion or negative energy because you want to be in your bubble. So I completely respect that and I love that for you.
Yeah.
As we close off, what is you said that you've got a short film coming up that's about an hour long.
Yeah.
What other projects do you have going on?
So I'm focusing heavily on that. It's an independent film. It's actually my first full-length film.
Nice.
It has been funded by an Australian agency called the Pont Agency.
Okay.
Yeah, they helped me get equipment. They helped fund us to partially shoot the project. Yeah, we're making arrangements to work on proper distribution for it. It has taken time. I know, like, in Zambia, people always want like you to be doing stuff. But with film, I now understand why people take 2-3 years to release a series or
Yeah.
whatever. It's a lot.
It's a lot
Because
of
even Can You See Us? We shot that like, I think when COVID was about to end, and it came out, I think, 4 years later?
Wow.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So it takes time. So that's what I'm working on. But the content is still coming. A lot of storytelling, a lot of just documenting my life. I have a new YouTube channel, My Life is a Scope, where I'm like posting a lot of like documentaries of like my life and what's going on, my relationship, dealing with being a creator in Zambia, how Zambia needs to change their mindset in terms of like settling for less. Like I want us to get rid
Get out
of
of
stuff like that. Yeah, more stuff is coming on materialism. I have a video that I really want to do. I just need to find the time on how to know if a girl is selling as a young guy. An entire documentary, satirical documentary, short film about that. I'm excited to do that one. My fans are the ones who told me to do it, so
I see.
that's coming soon.
Okay. Do you ever see yourself going back to university, or that's done?
I actually want to do psychology.
Yeah.
Like I think when I'm 40 or 45, I have
go back.
plans. I just want to like achieve at least majority of my goals in the creative space, make more money to where I can have some freedom. That's my goal. Then if I can like just make enough money to where like I can just go to school for like 5 years. Yeah, 40 to 45, I would like to pursue psychology.
You and I are the same. I want to pursue my what is it in South Africa? They call it the honors. Did the undergrad, didn't get the honors, so that's what I'm gunning for
Now
in the next
do
few
that,
years.
do that. Like I'm really impressed that like you did psychology. I feel like
It's fascinating.
Yeah,
I
it's
must say.
amazing, yeah.
Mix, thank you so much for coming through today. It's been a wonderful conversation.
thank you for having me.
Definitely a brain that needs to be picked further. So I'm hoping that we have you back on the podcast.
I have to come back, guys.
Yeah.
It's on the record. As soon as the film comes out, there's a lot of stuff that I'll be doing, involving international relations. I'm gonna learn so much. I would like to come and talk about that as well. And we'll talk about more things in terms of what we can change in Zambia,
Fantastic. Thank you so much once again for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
This has been Nkwazi Unfiltered. Today we had Mix Kasamwa, digital storyteller, content creator, that one put in bold,
Yes.
as well as an actor and a musician. And we've had such an in-depth conversation about many things to do with life in Zambia and in the scope of the social media life. And we'll catch you on the next one.